Hi, I'm Terry. I've lost 175 pounds with keto and carnivore. Thank you for watching. So I'm sitting here and I'm mostly ready for church. I just have to get dressed, but I've got another 2 hours before I have to leave. Well, 1 hour. Anyway, so I'm just sitting here watching TV and look, got that one in the background. Is there anybody over there? Nope, just him. But look on my lap. Look at this big old lug. He likes to lay on my lap. I got a blanket over him so I can harvest his heat. But this is his favorite place. He loves to lay on my lap. So he's a good pupper. He's a good pup. This is the only time he ever really relaxes and sleeps. Otherwise, he's always on guard. But when he's laying here on my lap, he's just like, he knows that he can check out, he can clock out from being the guard dog. So he sleeps real hard when he's right here. Sleeps harder than he does when we're in bed. But yeah, so he just checks out and he just is my sweet boy. My sweet Baxter. He's a good Baxter boy. He's like, you said my name. What? Anyway, so, okay. Now back to the food. Hello, we're going to do our new recipe that we copied and altered from, and the original recipe was from Chef Jean-Pierre. His was lobster, macaroni and cheese. Mine is going to be shrimp, Baga and cheese, because you know I'm all about the Baga. So anyway, we are going to get started. I will have all the stuff down in the description, so you'll find the recipe and all that stuff down below. So let's get started. I already cut up the rutabaga into bite-sized pieces and I boiled it kind of al dente. And now I'm going to spray the pan that I plan on cooking in. I'm going to spray it with duck fat. Yes, it's a mess over here. I already spilled wine on my recipe, so I made a mess already. So there's my sprayed duck fat, and I'm going to spray. He actually used butter to line it, or just, and I'm just going to use duck fat. And I'm going to do one serving in this cute little crock. I can't like put this in the freezer, and I freeze all my servings. So, I'll just have one, and this will be the one that I eat tonight. So, all right, so that's done. I've got my oven preheating to 375. And as I was watching him, now he uses 4 cups of milk. And instead, for me, I used 1 can of cream of coconut. Or coconut cream, sorry. I used 1 can of this. It's the unsweetened. And then I filled it up about halfway with water. So this is 1 can of coconut cream and half a can of water. And I'm just letting it sit there and kind of warm up. So then in a frying pan, I have to heat up 1 ounce of butter. And when it gets hot, I have to add the shallots and saute for a couple of minutes. So I'm going to turn this on and add 1 ounce of butter to my skillet. See that face? So I've got the shrimp defrosting, because I'm going to buy frozen shrimp. I'm not going to buy fancy shrimp. Bought the frozen shrimp, and that's defrosting. And I spilled some wine on my paper, so my house smells like wine and shrimp. It's quite aromatic in my house. So this girl's like, ooh, what you doing up there, Mama? What you doing, Mama? All right, so now the butter's heated up. So, it says, when hot, add the shallots and saute for a couple of minutes. So, this is about 2 tablespoons of shallots. I chopped them up yesterday, if you saw that. If you saw my meal prep video for the, I think it was on the vegetable version of the meal prep video. So now I'm just going to let this kind of saute a little bit. It's not trying to brown it, just trying to soften them till they get a little translucent. My oven is at a little tilt. Things tend to go right over here, the liquids do. So I'm just going to push my shallots right into that area. Alright, so let's make sure. Saute for a couple of minutes and then add the shrimp. So I'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay, now I'm going to add, this is 12 ounces of shrimp. He uses a full pound of lobster tails, but you know, I roll with the shrimp because he was talking about how expensive it is. Well, this is an experiment. This may taste disgusting, and I'm sure not going to waste a bunch of money on fancy lobster tail if it ends up tasting yuck. If it's too yucky, I could take it to my mom. She loves shrimp. Co-workers, if it's super fishy, shit, they're not going to be thrilled if I bring this to work and heat it up. Although, you know, I'm honored enough that I would do it. Oh, it's Sunday. I had a really good day. My BFF got baptized at church, and they had a good message, and so it was a really good Sunday. Got to see her and her husband both get baptized, and then we went out to eat. Oh, yeah. So that's my, I don't know, third or fourth time going out to eat since we've been doing this 2-month challenge. But that's okay. Things happen. And you know what? It was in celebration. So it was worth going out to eat. So now I saute this for about 5 minutes. And then I'll be back. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Not too much. Because like he says, there's salt in the cheese. And then that is ground white pepper. I like the flavor of white pepper more than black pepper. Alright, now back to sauteing the shrimps. So now I add Old Bay, and I'm doing 1/2 tablespoon of Old Bay. Like, I don't know what you use for fish, shrimp, whatever. So this is the only thing I had that I knew. I saw a picture of a fish on it. So that's what I'm using. So it's what I got. Come on, baby. Price outdated. Nothing's all dried up in there. Hang on. There we go. He used tarragon, but I don't have tarragon, and I looked and Walmart didn't have it either. So Old Bay it is. It makes me think of a cologne. Isn't there a Bay, something, men's cologne, something Bay? No, maybe I'm thinking Old Spice. Yeah. Okay, and then it's supposed to cook for another minute. So I will be back after that. And now I've got, this is, let's see, where is that? 2 tablespoons of red wine, 1 tablespoon of Marsala wine. He used cognac and something else. And he said, if you don't have the wine, he said, people ask, what do you replace wine with if you don't want alcohol? He said, nothing. Unless it's a whole lot, then you add broth. But, so I'm using some red wine and Marsala. He used cognac and some kind of cream, something wine. But, anyway, like I said, I'm making it to a way that I'm going to be able to eat it and enjoy. Okay, so I did that. I'm going to let this go for about 2 minutes. And then I'm going to swap. I'm going to move the shrimp back to there just to kind of sit aside. And then I'll start the sauce for the cheesy stuff. Hey, something else. He used 1 pound of the lobster tail. Well, shrimp comes in 12 ounces. And so I wasn't going to open another package of shrimp just for 4 more ounces. So I just used 1 package of shrimp. So All right, now we're gonna, let me turn off the timer. Now we're gonna swap places. Like I said, I'm gonna just let that sit back there. It isn't gonna cook anymore, it's just gonna sit there and be good. So now I'm starting my sauce. And this is I've got 3 ounces of butter. Now he used flour. I'm gonna use Glucomannon. And at the time, he said that, I keep saying he, you know, Chef Jean-Pierre. He says that he used an equal amount or a different amount. But anyway, he said it to make I think he called it a mild roux or soft roux, something like that. So I'm going to let my butter melt and then I'll add in the Glucomannon. Let me see if I can get a better angle. Okay, now I'm going to do some Glucomannon. I'm going to do the pour out side. And just going to do a little bit to start with. Because I don't want it real thick. But I need it to be a little thicker than just butter. The Glucomannon is kind of slow to get going. So it thickens up slowly. So you put it in and then like 2 minutes later it's like a paste. I mean, not literally, but I mean, it thickens up slowly. So I don't want to get carried away. I got my fan blowing, it's blowing it everywhere. We'll see if that can be enough. I can always add more like later. So I'm going to let that be what I use for now. Let me just kind of aim it this way so you can kind of see it's bubbling up. It's bubbling up, but it's not as watery as it was when we started. Now, cream over. Add half of the cream and use a whisk. Alright, so I'm going to swap this out. I'm going to do half of this cream. Yeah. And then I got to whisk it. Mix well. When incorporated, add the remaining. Let me ditch this and let's see, I need to turn off the rear. This one right here. Got puppy dog. Set you there for a minute. I want to see how it does, and I'll bring back the Glucomannon. I'd like it to be a little texture to it. I don't want it to be water, and I don't want it to be paste. So I want it to thicken up just a little bit. But I'm going to let it kind of see how it does on its own before I add more. Okay, add when everything is nicely mixed, add the cheeses. Well, I'm going to add a little more Glucomannon. Whoa! Okay, I'm going to add a lot more Glucomannon. Do it this way. If I was left-handed, it'd be a lot easier. That seems like a pretty good thickness. It's not like heavy cream. It's almost like, kind of like a mild Alfredo. Okay. So let's see what's next here. When everything is, add the cheeses and blend well. Get my cheese in here. This is 12 ounces of 4-cheese Mexican. I'm going to use this one to help stir it in. Mine is thicker than what his was. I might add a little more water. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Because I've got water in my shrimp. So maybe I won't. Add, oh wait, come back here. Add the cheeses and blend well. Yeah, I think if I was to do it again, I would do less Glucomannon. It's like a glue. That's all right. That's all right. I'm the only one eating it, so that don't matter. So now I'm going to add the Rutabaga. And I guess it's different because the Rutabaga is wet, whereas macaroni is not. Now, I'm adding Rutabaga. This is half pound of Rutabaga. Now, for you, if you want to add cauliflower, if you want to add broccoli, if you want to add whatever you want to add, don't just add Rutabaga, you know. This is one of those things that you can make however you want to. You could do zucchini noodles. You could do whatever you want. And this is like glue, man. It's like paste. Look. I'm going to go add some more water. Hang on. I don't even know how much that is. Maybe 2/3 cup. So this may not be any kind of a... This definitely isn't going to be a soup situation. It's maybe we should call it shrimp Baga and cheese bake. It's more like a bake. Casserole. That'd be a good name for it. As thick as it is, it's going to be like a casserole. Alright. So now, let's see what it says next. Add the Rutabaga, then add shrimp mixture and stir. So now, well, it's going to be good anyway. You can't go wrong with cheese and cheese and coconut cream and my Rutabaga. You just can't go wrong with it. And then I'm going to add a tablespoon of my Crave All Day. It's just my, it's a mixture of nutritional yeast. And it has some, I think, like dried garlic, maybe some dried onion. It's just seasoning from Amazon that one of my viewers sent me, Gina. I just really love the flavor and that it gives off, and it gives a good cheesy but creamy flavor. Okay, now I need to taste it, and then I'll put it in my pan. Yep, that's good. Okay, I'm going to do one serving in here, which is kind of hard to tell what a serving is because I don't really know. I know a serving is 1/5 of this, but I'm going to stop it right there. Okay. And then I'll put the rest into this pan. Sorry, I got to turn it so I can hold it. Just a little bit more in here. All right, now, okay. Clean this off here. All right, so now I'll have this one and this one. It says top with Parmesan and pork panko. Of course, he used breadcrumbs, but I'm going to use pork panko. Let me raise this camera up just a hair. I'll use just sprinkle a little bit of that on top of there. Hey, if you go to YouTube and you watch Connection Point is the church we went to and we go to. If you go to today's service, you can see my friend and her husband get baptized. They told a cute story. My friend has dated her husband, they dated when they were in grade school. And so when she was a little, when they were in grade school, she practiced writing her name, writing his last name as her last name. It's cute because he told that story at the before he dunked her. It was cute. He was telling that story about how she practiced writing that name 40 some odd years ago. So it was cute. So anyway, yeah, CPC is the channel. That's the church. CPC. That's short for Connection Point. Okay. Now we bake it. Hold on. Okay, let's make sure. Transfer to lasagna pan, top with pork panko and the Parmesan. Bake for 25 minutes or until nicely golden brown. He did say when you are reheating food, you do it until the internal temperature is 155. Whew, hang on. That was dumb. He said when food is already cooked, he said your mouth can't tolerate anything hotter than 155 to 200. So he said, hang on. He said that, so you want the internal temperature of your food, whenever you're heating something up, you want it to be 155 to 200. So, if everything's cooked, like this was all cooked, I just want it to get about 155 in the middle. So I thought, well, that's a good tip because, whenever you go to heat something up like a lasagna or something, you don't really know what temperature to do. And so knowing that, that's like, oh, cool, I can just start sticking a thermometer in the middle of it. And if it says 155 or 200 to 200, I know it's ready to eat. So, all right, I'll be back when it's done. I'm just pulling it out of the oven. It's nice and bubbly. And now I'm just going to let it cool down because I am not about to take a bite when it's this hot. It was 170 degrees. So I'm still going to let it cool down a little bit. Here's how it looks. And I'm going to go ahead and try to take a bite. It's not horribly hot. We'll see. If I burn my mouth, I might be fussing. But let's see if I can even hold the... it's a little warm on the handle. Let's see what it tastes like. Got to have a little piece of the shrimp and the panko. I want some of the panko on there. And some of the cheese. So I got to have it all together. Yeah, I'm going to hold this here let me just hold it for a second. Let me just pause it while I hold it a couple minutes. All All right, here we go. It's good. It's not fishy. I don't like fish, but it's not fishy. It's creamy, and it's got a little crunch to it from the pork panko. So I'll be able to sit here, and I think the rutabaga dissolved. That might be a little piece of rutabaga. I'm not ready to just sit and shovel it yet. I went ahead and broke it down into 4 more servings, and I've got the labels ready to go. So here's what I do. I like them to be similar. So we've got $3.87, $3.49, $3.79, $3.88. Okay, they're close enough. I'm not going to sweat this one being a little bit lighter. And I'm not even going to measure that one because I went out to eat today at lunch. So, whenever I went out to eat, I got a salad with baked chicken, and it had cheese and eggs and bacon on it. So kind of like a chef salad almost. And then I had that, and then I also asked for a little burger patty to go with it. They charged me, it was called Wings, etc. is the place, and they charged me $1.50 for the burger patty, and they charged me the price of a kid's burger. So anyway, wait a minute, that's got a hole in the bottom. Good thing I got another one ready. Let me just throw that one away. Okay, let's check them all. Make sure it didn't like burn a hole in the bottom of it from being too hot. Nope. Nope. Okay. Anyway, so there you go. That's gonna be my supper, and that is our shrimp bacon. I mean our shrimp Baga cheese casserole. Okay, bye. Hey, this is future Terry. Holy smokes, I ate it and I am stuffed. It was so good. Mmm.